Good morning. I'm Angela Stribling, host of Pillow Talk with Angela on WHUR. Where are my WHUR fans? Woo! Yes, you know we love you. And we certainly love Washington, D.C. It feels so good to be back here at Union Station, doesn't it? I mean, when I heard what our dear, wonderful mayor was doing with D.C., revitalizing downtown Washington, D.C., I just jumped at the opportunity to do whatever I can to be a part of this, right? I mean, do you remember the days we all used to come to Union Station? We had B. Smith's restaurant and all these bustling. I mean, am I the only one who remembers? It was amazing. I mean, it wasn't just the place you go to take your train to New York or wherever you're going. It was a destination. You come downtown, you come to Union Station. This is a part of DC culture. And so I'm so proud and supportive of our mayor for saying, you know what, those days are not over. These are the good old days. We're bringing that back. So we so appreciate you for being a part of it, because that's what this is all about. This is the kickoff. So we are all making history today. This is the kickoff of Jazz in Bloom, and it sure is appropriate because it's Jazz Appreciation Month. And we started off with a great band. So it's just the beginning. So once a week, we're going to have music. I'm not sure if it's all going to be here. It's probably going to be various places around downtown, but just make sure you keep yourself informed. Just stay posted, because you know we're going to let you know. The mayor's office will let you know exactly who's performing and where they're going to be. So it feels good. I'm so excited to just be a part of this entire vision. So, all right, enough about me. Let's bring up the lady who is making this all happen. I want to bring up my dear friend. She's doing big things in the city. Again, thank you for being a part of it. Please welcome Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everybody. Let's give a big hand to Angela Stribling. Talk about DC culture. Thank you for being here to help us launch Jazz in Bloom. And we want to give a big round of applause to our wonderful musicians. Thank you to our band, the quartet. And I know one of the things we really missed when we were apart was live music. And having live music back in all of our entertainment venues and all of our other gathering places like beautiful Washington Union Station is just a great privilege for us to bring as a government and to share with all of you. We're joined by a number of fantastic people who are partners with us in making sure that the vibrancy that is Union Station, but it is also all of Washington, D.C., is in full effect. So I want to acknowledge some of them, and you will hear from some of them as well. And the interim deputy mayor for economic development, Keith Anderson. Thank you for being here, Keith. Doug Carr, the president and CEO of Washington Union Station, is here as well. We're also joined by our hospitality, committee, coalition, divas and divos. And I want to acknowledge them because they also have a big job in making sure that our visitors who are coming here, be it for conventions, staycations, vacations, international travel, day travel, are finding everything they need in Washington. So I want to acknowledge the Events DC CEO, Angie Gates, and the Destination DC CEO, Elliot Ferguson. Between the two of them, you can have your convention, wedding, parties, auto show, medical convention, you name it. You can do it here in Washington. We are also very proud of our partnerships with our bid associations, our business improvement districts, which allow for DC and a lot of areas around town to have enhanced services enhanced programming, and beautiful facilities. So let me acknowledge the downtown bid in Jaron Price, Kenyatta Robinson from the Mount Vernon bid. We're also joined by our Golden Triangle bid, Leona, and our Capitol Hill bid. Thank you for being here. The NOMA bid, the DC Chamber of Commerce, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and the Black Chamber of Commerce. All right. And I think the Restaurant Association. All right, so I think we have our bases covered. So you know what we're here to talk about, and I'm going to give a shout out to my comms team, because this morning when I rolled over at 5:30, you know what I heard on the news? Jazz and Bloom, and that we were going to be talking about the comeback. And a good part of it, and some people are wondering what we're talking about, because now when they're coming downtown and they're riding on their streets, they see a lot more people, a lot more cars, a lot more activity, a lot more business. I just came from Lee's Flowers at Union Station, and thank you, Stacy. And she told me, but this April and last April, there's a big difference. People are buying flowers here at Union Station, so we're happy about that. And we know that a big part of our job, we're focused on how our spaces in downtown might have to change. You know, the way of work is a little bit different. We're still figuring it out, and we know that there may be spaces. Oh, you were in that show, Leona. You were in the newscast this morning that I saw, talking about spaces. And it's true. We may have to change some of our beautiful spaces so that we're making the most use of them. If we have fewer employees, then we want to have more visitors. If we have fewer work events, then we want to have more events where people are coming and gathering and having festivals. So all of those things are on our mind. And the city is going to be a partner with all of the private sector folks I just mentioned and people that want to come to DC. We're still working with our federal partners to understand exactly how they are going to be having workers come into the city, but also ideas about how we can take advantage of underutilized federal space. We're unique, of course, in that there's no American city that has the federal government take up as much space as we do. They comprise 25% of jobs in DC and lease about 25% of our office space. So I want everybody to turn on their big thinking to think about how we can make use and better use of space. Another thing that we're doing, and people tell me that more people want to live downtown, and that's great news. And part of our 5-year economic development strategy is to attract 15,000 more residents to the downtown. And people will be close to great restaurants, parks, transportation, and be able to raise their families. We have a great example of what we can do with public space to enhance downtown living that's supported by the downtown bid at Franklin Park. And we know my budget that's before the council now proposes to look at another park at Farragut Square to see if we can do the same thing. I talked to our friends at Amtrak the other day. They would like to follow that model also for Columbus Circle. So we know as a city, and DC residents have told me they're willing to invest our local dollars, even in a federal asset, if it helps us bring more people to downtown and to our great neighborhoods to live, to work, and to visit. So everybody in DC government, I have a new thing that I ask anyone who comes to meet with me in my office, in person, downtown at the John Wilson Building. I ask them, what role will you play in DC's comeback? So think about what you can do. So the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment, led by the LaToya Foster. Give her a big round of applause. She said, I am plugging OCTFME into the comeback. This is the role I want to play, Mayor. I want to plug into our creative economy, our wonderful musicians. I want to make sure that we're looking at our beautiful spaces and bringing great music and entertainment to those spaces. In doing that, the employees who are coming back to their offices will enjoy. The visitors coming through Washington Union Station will enjoy. And we will get the vibrancy that we miss in some places back with a partnership with music and entertainment and our downtown business community. So with that, I want to first turn to Deputy Mayor Keith Anderson, and then we will hear from LaToya Foster to talk about what else she has in mind for entertainment in the downtown. Keith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and good morning, everyone. Are we ready for a comeback? Are we ready for a comeback? I thought we were, and it's a pleasure to be here with you this morning as we kick off Jazz in Bloom. Now, you have heard it a few times today, but I think it's worth mentioning again. Revitalization on our downtown, restoring the vibrancy that existed pre-pandemic, and doing so in new creative ways is essential to the economic health of Washington, D.C. Our downtown is home to 35% of our businesses, employs close to 240,000 workers, and generates nearly $1.1 billion per year pre-pandemic. Revenues from a thriving downtown helps us fund our programs, our schools, our infrastructure, and all of our city services, quite frankly. We know that people drive the downtown economy, especially residents and visitors who come downtown for a meal, for a show, to watch the game, or do whatever downtown has to offer. That's why we are excited at DMPED to introduce new investments to attract residents, including the new DC Family Fun Destinations Grant. This $7.5 million grant will support, that's right, will support the creation of new family-friendly attractions downtown and in other parts of DC. We are looking for new permanent or semi-permanent attractions that will drive foot traffic, offer new experiences for our residents and visitors, and create an economic impact. These could be new community gathering spaces, performances or creative spaces, outdoor games or music infrastructure, spaces that are immersive and attractive for our downtown visitors. We will accept funding proposals beginning on April 28th and look forward to bringing new destinations online very soon. You can find more information about this program at Mayor.dc.gov. And we will post a notice for funding availability for this program on April 14th. Next, I'm excited to announce a new partnership to accelerate our downtown recovery. As you know, Mayor Bowser set a bold goal to add 15,000 new residents downtown over the next 5 years. And our comeback plan for downtown recovery includes 3 areas of focus: filling the space, changing the space, bringing the people, including various initiatives that we are already moving forward. But that is just the start. Now we need to dive into the next level of detail. We intend to partner with the Downtown DC bid and the Golden Triangle bid to develop a comprehensive downtown action plan. This work will run in parallel with our Downtown Public Realm Action Development Plan, led by the Office of Planning, which will focus on how we enliven public spaces like streets and parks all over downtown. We look forward to advancing this important work and working with the DC Council in the coming weeks to ensure investments in our downtown property remain a priority for the FY24 budget. Bringing our downtown back is going to be and require all of us here today and it starts with bringing our residents and visitors back. Thank you very much. And I would like to introduce Doug Carr, President and CEO of the Union Station Redevelopment Corporation. Doug?
Thank you, Keith, and good morning, and welcome to beautiful Union Station. My name is Doug Carr, the President and CEO of Union Station Redevelopment Corporation, and I am honored to join Mayor Bowser in support of her vision that promotes DC as a hub of community, culture, and commerce, and one of the best places to live and visit in the nation. USRC echoes the commitment made by Mayor Bowser and the Destination DC and Events DC teams to promote DC as a vibrant region and a must-see destination. Union Station's partnership with Sing for Hope is designed to spark moments of joy for the thousands of locals and visitors who pass through the station each day. We're thrilled to kick off this partnership with today's jazz performance as a preview of what's ahead in the coming weeks and throughout the rest of this year. Sing for Hope and Union Station look forward to presenting a regular calendar of musical performances that shine a light on the best of local talent that Washington's richly diverse and cultural community have to offer. The programming at Union Station will feature world-class performing arts organizations and artists directly into our daily lives, activating and strengthening the station's role as a neighborhood asset and symbol of excellence. We thank our many stations partners for their ongoing support and efforts to revitalize this beautiful station, and we look forward to bringing these activations to life. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce Director LaToya Foster.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural Jazz in Bloom kickoff here at the historic Union Station. I'm LaToya Foster, the Director of Mayor Bowser's Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. I'm delighted to be here today as we focus forward and kick off the celebration of music and entertainment in downtown DC. We want to thank everyone for coming out to support this event and to celebrate Jazz Appreciation Month with us. We want to acknowledge our friends, Stacy Lee and the Lee family, for these beautiful flowers, and Camille Zamora and Monica Eunice of Sing of Hope, who are our partners in this endeavor at Union Station. But most importantly, I want to thank our mayor, Muriel Bowser. Thank you, Mayor, so much for your support of the creative economy, entertainment across all 8 wards of our city, your leadership in making Jazz and Bloom at Union Station a reality, and entertainment and bringing downtown back a priority. Today's creative activation is one of many, and I do mean many, in support of Mayor Bowser's comeback plan and our dynamic partnerships with the Union Station Redevelopment Corporation, the Downtown DC Business Improvement District, Jerry Price is here with us, and all of our bids and the Restaurant Association are critical to the success of Jazz and Bloom and entertainment in downtown. Now, we're here today at Union Station. Now, like so many of you, I have fond recollections of Union Station too in my teen years. How many of you remember going to cashier Marion Berry's Summer Youth Employment Program check? And you go upstairs to the Benetton store and buy a sweater or a book bag, get ready for your upcoming school year, or as Mayor Bowser, as you say, get your clothes, shoes, and hairdos. That's what we do. We go downstairs, catch a movie, and like Angela said, we would come and dine at the world-famous B. Smith's restaurant. There are so many fond memories of Union Station, and we want to bring those days back. And we know with all of you here and the experience that we're having here today, that won't be a heavy lift, because we know that Union Station is the gateway to downtown D.C. We know that music has the power to bring people together, and nowhere is more evident than in the nation's capital. So OCTFME is committed to promoting and supporting entertainment and the arts and culture scene here in Washington, D.C., and harnessing the power of music to unite our community. So Jazz in Bloom will feature a lineup of talented local and internationally known musicians. Now, today's event, once again, is just the beginning of what promises to be a fantastic year for the entertainment, arts, and culture scene here in our city. We have a number of downtown DC concert pop-ups lined up that will provide a unique and exciting experience for residents and visitors to enjoy music of all genres while supporting local downtown businesses. In closing, there's always a call to action. We want you to spread the word and tell a friend. DC is open, as Mayor Bowser says time and time again. And we want to encourage everyone to participate in Jazz in Bloom here at Union Station. We have other concerts coming up later in the month. But again, this week, we have Mayor Bowser's Emancipation Day weekend. It's not just a day, it's a weekend this year. It kicks off at Freedom Plaza with a 2 p.m. parade, a 3 p.m. star-studded lineup of a concert with Drew Hill, Black Alley, which brings go-go and rock together, J.J. Harrison, a gospel sensation because we got to get our praise on. It is the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, so we have Rakim and so many others, local talent, DC talent, followed by fireworks, and you don't want to miss that. And then on Sunday, we're taking it down to Black Lives Matter Plaza, per the mayor. She said, bring the people down to Black Lives Matter Plaza. So we're going to have a family fun day there where we're going to praise at the plaza, we're going to party at the plaza, we're going to exercise at the plaza, and we want all of you to join us for that, and so many more. So thank you all, Mayor. Thank you again so much. My predecessor, Madam President Angie Gates, and all of you, and our OCTFME team, because they have been working so hard to make all of this a success. Thank you all so much.
All right. Now I want to hear from other members of our team who are integral to how we'll get our work done, including our Office of Planning Director, Anita Cozart, and she will be followed by Angie Gates and Elliot Ferguson. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and good morning, everyone. I'm Anita Cozart of the DC Office of Planning, and I'm so happy to be here in this one of our most beautiful public spaces in the district, Union Station, to talk about our role in DC's comeback. As we know, downtown is the economic engine of the district, and it's a cultural hub for our region and our nation. And Mayor Bowser often says, DC, we are the best city in the world. And that's because no matter where you live in the district or if you're visiting, you have likely made memories that you'll hold on to in public spaces and streets throughout our downtown, whether it be Franklin Park, Black Lives Matter Plaza, or on Pennsylvania Avenue. Folks may remember barbecue battles that we had back in the day. As DC reopened in 2022, the Office of Planning launched the Streets for People grant program with over $2.8 million in grants to business improvement districts in the downtown, Golden Triangle, DuPont Circle, and Mount Vernon Triangle as well. It supported over 100 events attended by 110,000 people. And when we surveyed those people, we found out that nearly two-thirds of them had made purchases at nearby businesses in the downtown. That's about a comeback, right? That's about a comeback. And so it's really expanded how we think about using our public spaces, featuring mobile pop-up kitchens, art walks, comedy shows, and even an interactive oasis of swinging chairs, which you can now find on 9th Street just south of the MLK Library. So there's more for us to do, and we're excited about a second year of Streets for People grants, kicking off this month with even more events that are and activities that are going to change the space, fill the space, and bring the people back to our downtown. At the start of her third term, Mayor Bowser challenged us all to think big. So this month, the Office of Planning is proud to, in partnership with the Downtown DC bid, thank you, Jaron, and also the Golden Triangle bid, thank you, Leona, that we're going to be kicking off a public realm plan to unlock new possibilities in our downtown public spaces. And our resources this fiscal year and in the mayor's recently announced 2024 budget will drive how we look at revitalizing downtown. Our streets, our alleys, our sidewalks, and our parks, making them safe, welcoming, and enjoyable community spaces. These public spaces will attract visitors, our workers, businesses, large and small, to our downtown, and it will support the housing goal that we have in the comeback plan of 15,000 new residents by 2028. And a year from today, we'll have a roadmap for ensuring the safety and vibrancy of public spaces, which we've heard from all of you is essential to downtown's comeback. So we're excited about that. You can stay connected with the Downtown Public Realm Plan by visiting planning.dc.gov or coming up to me after this. And we just thank you so much for your support and look forward to engaging you in that work. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce the CEO of Events DC, Dr. Angie Gates.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I tell you what, jazz in bloom with all these flowers is the perfect way to wake up in the morning, right? So we are ready for a comeback, Mayor. We are definitely ready for a comeback because at Events DC, we create experiences that engage, excite, and entertain our local community and visitors from around the world, which in turn benefits our local economy and city. The tourism and hospitality industries, that's our focus, which help keeps our restaurants full, our hotels booked, and our nightlife booming. And that is very key, and we definitely make sure we focus on our culture. The Walter E. Washington Convention Center is in the hub of downtown. We hosted about 100 conventions and events at the Convention Center last fiscal year, including 15 citywide conferences and conventions. This generated, now get ready for it, it generated $293 million in economic impact. This year, we are positioned to increase that amount with 19 citywide conventions, putting us back to pre-pandemic levels. We are also on pace to have 150 events at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center. The fiscal year is estimated to bring in $360 million in economic impact from all the attendees. So tell me that's not a comeback. We are the presenting sponsor for the National Cherry Blossom Festival and Parade that's taking place this weekend. We're also supporting the DC Jazz Festival taking place. Events DC is working with Monumental Sports and Entertainment to host the NBA 2K League season at District E, which is downtown, and we're going to be doing that through August. Washington, D.C. is indeed a growing hub for the esports community, and why? It is bringing in local, national, and international athletes, and not only the athletes, but their fans as well. This year, Events DC will be presenting in partnership with the American Black Film Festival Because They're Funny Comedy Festival, which is coming in October. Now, we can all use some laughs, right? We will also host a ton of activities, including Major League Soccer's All-Star Game in July and the National Cycling League. So everybody pull out your bikes. You can be a little healthy, party at the same time. And let's not forget, it is now spring and time for our festival season. So it will be a lot of music activities taking place. So Madam Mayor, we are in conjunction with you with the Comeback for Washington, D.C. So I hope to see you at some of the many upcoming events that I mentioned. So now it's time to bring up my co-pilot in tourism and hospitality, Mr. Elliot Ferguson.
Last but not least, the last speaker. Good morning, everyone. Madam Mayor, thank you again for this great weather, this great day. This is a great tourism day in Washington when you have this amazing weather where people want to go outside. Now, our organization is unique. We play a huge role in marketing Washington, and that's really the bottom line for us, focusing on bringing conventions to the city and focusing on bringing tourists to Washington. Some of you might say, oh no, here go these slow driving people or slow walking people in Washington during the Cherry Blossom Festival and all the other seasons, and all I see is dollar signs. Looking at the over $600 million economic impact of tourism, and that's in taxes, that we as citizens of Washington have the opportunity for the mayor and city council to focus on key things that are important to us as a destination, like safety and things that are really paramount to not only visitors having a good experience, but also to folks that live in the city. Now, being in Union Station is a big deal for us. And I remember in 2021, the mayor and a few of us got on an Amtrak and a Acela train on the hottest day ever, and we were able to travel and see Moynihan Hall, which at that time, Doug, I believe you were still a part of, and we looked around and said, we want that. So as we look at the 116-year-old Union Station, which is phenomenal, and seeing what opportunities will exist as we talk about economic development, I see that the sky is the limit in terms of what's going to be able to happen in Washington, especially with Matt Berry and Doug at the helm. And for us, this is a gateway for visitation. You know, we know that visitors are coming to Washington, D.C. From all over the world. That's part of our job. But they're coming from other destinations and coming to Washington through Union Station. So making sure that this is a world-class facility and venue is extremely important. Now, a lot of you may have heard about the Tourism Recovery District. And for us, as we're looking at marketing D.C. as a destination, we have to promote and market our destination against a lot of world-class cities. And as we talk about recovery and comeback, I still hear in my head LL Cool J saying, don't call it a comeback, but a recovery. I want you to look around and look at some of the video of cities like the Caribbean, and you see Orlando up there promoting their destinations. The way that we promote D.C. is outward facing. So if you live in D.C., you're not going to see advertising on D.C. in D.C. But with the Tourism Recovery District and those additional dollars, we'll be able to promote Washington to a market that's extremely important to us. We love domestic visitors, and over the last few years, they were really extremely important to us because they're the only ones that were coming. But as an economic development organization, a domestic visitor spends on average $600. An international visitor, if they're from China, spends on average of $10,000. So as you can imagine why international visitation is important to us, it's all about welcoming everyone, but equally welcoming those that spend more and stay longer. So that's a huge part of what we'll be focusing on with these Tourism Recovery District dollars. And our campaign is really tied to promoting D.C. in a different way. The additional dollars will allow us to do more. If you look to my left, your right, you'll see some of the pieces that will be in Penn Station and in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia that allows us to promote Washington, D.C. You'll see bus wraps in other cities, not in Washington, D.C., and you'll see ways in which we will focus on our international efforts with our representation that we currently have in 4 cities, but will expand with these dollars with the mayor and city council and the Tourism Recovery District for us to do more. In conclusion, it's all about perception. And we all know that Washington is a great city, right? We love Washington, D.C. But just imagine being out of Washington, D.C., being in an international destination, and your entire life you saw BBC, CNN, every movie is tied to politics, and then we're talking about coming to Washington versus other cities in the United States, and they're like, yeah, we want to come, but we want to go somewhere fun. So as we're talking about our destination, we're going to be talking about music. The Jazz Festival, which will be over Labor Day this year, which is extremely important because we need business over Labor Day. Nightlife, the theater scene, restaurants, all the cultural opportunities that exist that perhaps the global community don't think about when they come to Washington. And I love if I'm on the mall and I see someone from an international destination, their reaction is, I had no idea. So with the additional dollars, we will be able to promote DC through a different lens to that market. The mayor and everyone else, when I tell them that DC is the 7th most visited destination in the U.S. by the global community, we're all surprised. It's like, how can we not be number one? Cities like Orlando, New York, and other destinations that skew fun and sexy and have great beaches, they outpace us. Now, granted, they're larger, so we'll never be as large as New York City, but I assure you through our efforts and the fact that there's a return on investment in promoting DC, we'll see more visitation and we'll see more conventions coming to the city that Angie and I and our teams will be able to focus on. So Washington.org is our website. I love when Washington locals say that we use Washington.org when we have visitors coming into town. We know the only time you all go to monuments is when you have family that are in town. I challenge you on that to get out and see your city a little bit more. But with Passport DC, Capital Pride, Major League Soccer All-Star Week, Restaurant Week, DC Jazz Festival, and the list goes on, our goal is to promote DC to the domestic and the international market. We have great opportunities ahead of us working with our partners, the Convention Center, Events DC, Restaurant Association, and Hotel Association, and I can assure you that we'll see more visitation to Washington because we have a larger treasure chest to promote our destination, and of course with the amazing support that we have from the city and from our mayor. So with that, I'm the last speaker. I think that you all will have a chance to ask questions, and I will move to the side and allow those who have questions to ask the mayor and the rest of us anything you may like pertaining to marketing and advertising our destination.
Well, thank you, Elliot, for bringing it home that this is indeed the best city in the world. Amazing destination for our visitors. And the point I always like to make, we've been talking about a lot of fun and games, but tourism is jobs and economic development. And it's the type of jobs and economic development that allows us to do everything else we want to do in our city. To have amazing affordable housing, fantastic schools, the #1 park system in the United States of America. And of course, beautiful, safe neighborhoods. So with that, we'll take a few questions that are on topic. I'll make myself available for off topic when I step off the podium. Press first, and then any community questions. Questions? Okay. No questions. All right. Thank you, everybody. I think we get to hear some more Jazz in Bloom.